Good afternoon, Tim Van Ash. I'm the Senior Vice President of Products at Virtual Instruments, and today we'd like to have a little bit of fun but talk about 3 cures for vMotion sickness. So firstly, we'd like to introduce who Virtual Instruments is. We'll talk about 3 cures that we bring to vMotion sickness with our monitoring and analytics platform, VirtualWisdom. And then Andrew Sebastian, who is here with me, will provide a product demo and walk you through the product in detail. So who is Virtual Instruments? So Virtual Instruments is probably best known in the industry as being a pioneer in fiber channel wire data. And our strength really lay in the ability to correlate from the wire all the way up to the compute. We had a unique set of capabilities in the industry in terms of being able to find storage problems, and heavily leveraged by all the major vendors in the storage industry in terms of finding and fixing problems in production. On top of that insight was really the depth of the diagnostics and the real-time monitoring. And when we talk about real-time monitoring, we're talking about the ability to report on millions of transactions on a per-second basis. So true real-time. And if you look at our customer base, it was mission-critical workloads in the Fortune 500. Very much focused on the financial services area. I'll take you through what the customer base looks like in a slide. But if we look at who we are today, so we've moved from just being known as a wire data company to really having a comprehensive hybrid management story. So we're correlating machine data, whether it be coming from APIs, whether it be coming streaming metrics. There's a whole range of different things we bring, and we're correlating that to provide a full stack view. We've expanded beyond being known for performance and things to capacity management and workload and automation analytics. And we'll be talking about those in terms of the 3 cures for vMotion sickness today. And our focus today is still very much mission critical workloads, but it's expanded from the Fortune 500 to really the Global 2000. And if you look at Virtual Instruments, one of your previous participants was a company called Zingati. And Virtual Instruments acquired Zingati in 2016 to support our app-centric view of infrastructure management. I'll talk about that in a moment. So today, Virtual Instruments is really represented across every segment in the industry. We still have tremendous strength in financial services and insurance. Healthcare has become an increasingly important vertical as the move to electronic records has increased, and the performance issues that they've suffered during that movement. Our largest segment today is in fact cloud services. So you can see some of the well-known names up there. But we're represented in pretty much every segment. But one of the areas that continues to be critical in the way that we look at the world is the technology vendor sector. So in addition to providing monitoring and analytics, we also do workload modeling and simulation. And that means being able to capture workloads in production and simulate them back into the lab. And we won't be talking about that product directly today, but it's a product called VirtualWisdom, and that's heavily used by the technology vendors in their development cycles.
Other product's called WorkloadWisdom, just to clarify.
Thank you. So VirtualWisdom, started life on the monitoring side of things. We evolved in the analytics, and today you'll hear more about what we've been doing in terms of the automation and the change governance process. And we span from the data center where we were born to the public cloud today and provide a single pane of glass around that infrastructure. It really is complemented by the 4 core areas of capability. So service assurance, and this starts with our app-centric methodology, and that is all about understanding what applications are deployed, where they're deployed, the service levels or the business value of those applications, and the impact that they're having on the infrastructure and being able to respond to those capabilities and being able to build and enforce service levels around that. And it's a policy-driven framework. Capacity management is all about looking into the future and not only monitoring the capacity as it stands now, but looking at both short and long-term trends to establish the point at which you're going to hit exhaustion. And this plays very much into how you optimize the resources, whether it be at the compute layer, whether it be at the network layer or the storage layer. The workload automation is really the recommendation engine and our approach to implementing change. And we'll talk a lot more about that as we go through the presentation. The problem resolution and monitoring side of it is really where we started. But today, we've taken sort of 10 years or more than 10 years of experience and built that into the platform around how you go and solve those problems. So in the form of heuristics, in the form of analytic-driven runbooks. So when we detect a problem, our aim is not to just isolate the problem, it's to provide a recommendation on what you do to address that problem and solve the problem longer term. So we have a full stack approach, whether it be the IP network, whether it be the fiber channel network, storage, hyperconverged all the way to cloud, and we focus on performance and capacity, and we correlate that with wire data. We have customers who regularly monitor millions of conversations in real time, on a per second basis. So the scale of the platform is somewhat unique in terms of its ability to correlate and build that data. But I talked a little bit about our app-centric approach, and that starts with being able to develop a shared context around the ecosystem. So, we integrate with, APM tools like AppDynamics or Dynatrace, CMDBs like ServiceNow. So we're pulling the understanding of the application, correlating that, and we complement that with our own discovery and mapping capabilities so that we've got a full view on the applications, where they're deployed, and we're dynamically updating that. So for example, when vMotion events occur, we update the model in real time. So we're always have a comprehensive understanding of where the applications are, the resources they're using, and the impact that that's causing. Like any monitoring product, our dashboard is really our crown jewels. The visualization and things are, over the last couple of years, really what we get complimented most on. That, the topology view, and we'll show you a little bit more of that as we go through. But the visualization in the product is extremely powerful. Alarm and incident management, and we'll take you through our approach to that. But our analytics really span anomaly detection through to root cause analysis, capacity forecasting, and workload automation from pre-deployment planning all the way through to resizing of resources. And that spans, once again, the compute, network, and storage aspects of it. And the runbook and collaboration capabilities. The runbooks themselves are analytic-driven. So there's heuristics that determine the path. The analytics drive the decisions in that, and ultimately it leads to a recommendation over a resolution for well-known elements. And for a number of issues in the platform, it will automatically run those investigations when an alarm is generated. So it aims to automatically triage, diagnose, and provide a recommendation around the solution. So let me pause there for a moment.
Sure, quick question. So just looking at this list of features and capabilities, it appears like a set of these features are common across similar solutions that are available, vRealize operations, things like that. What do you see as some key differentiators between your product and other products that are similar?
Yeah, good question. I think where we see our differentiators occurring here is obviously some of these features are common. In fact, we all use the same set of APIs and things to pull much of the same data. It's the ability to correlate that from the wire up It's the ability to actually process that data and make recommendations on it. So if you look at many of the platforms, they're aggregating at 5 minutes, they're taking averages. We don't. So we're building behind the scenes very sophisticated histograms that allow us to maintain the fidelity and accuracy of the data at every level. So we're able to see the sub-second peaks that really impact performance, that ultimately dictate how much headroom you have in terms of capacity, rather than an averaging technique that tends to iron it out over time. So we really see that level of fidelity, and that's why we get pulled in by vendors like Dell EMC, HPE, Hitachi, when they're trying to find really difficult transient problems. They look to us because we're the only ones in the industry with a level of visibility around that shared infrastructure. So and the ability to do it in real time. I mean, this is a very unique platform. Our CTO likes to maintain that we've got customers who do and monitor more transactions in an hour than Twitter generates in a week. And it's on several orders of magnitude greater than what you see in terms of the 3.5 billion odd tweets that Twitter generates every week.
So if your differentiator is the wire data information that you're able to pull, how does that benefit someone who's running their stuff in the cloud?
So that is one of our differentiators.
Okay.
The key thing that wire data has given us is a scalable platform that can operate in real time. The wire data is unique in the data center, but obviously it's not unique in the cloud. It's the quality and the depth of the analytics in the cloud that really makes a difference for us in that space. And we have a set of very unique analytics around a set of well-defined problems that frankly no one else in the industry is tackling. We'll be discussing today in the three Qs for vMotion, some of the capabilities that you'll see in other platforms. Andrew will take you through some of the other analytics that are very differentiated and unique to the VirtualWisdom platform.